Hello, Rook.
Hello, TJ, and hello to our audience that we are trying to build right now. Good afternoon or good evening, all right? This is 8 p.m. show. Almost said good afternoon. We are the Scoreboard Addicts podcast, and this is June 19th, 2025 episode of our show. Typically, we have me, TJ, Nick. Nick is preoccupied for the most part for the next few months, so you're going to be stuck with me and TJ taking it through, and then occasionally Matt stepping in whenever he can. So this is a new layout for the show. But hey, you know what? Just still grind through, have some fun, drink some bourbon, talk sports.
That's all I'm here for. You're forced to listen to me rant and rave while everybody else tunes us out. And I get to sit here and have a couple cocktails, a couple beers, and bitch and moan and, get a lot off our chest because we have a lot to bitch and moan about, Rook. I mean,
we have a lot.
Right out the gate, I think we jump right into fucking Yankees baseball, dude. Like, losing 6 out of 7 and getting shut out twice by the Angels. That's fucking embarrassing.
Wait, so when we get into it, let's do a little our baseball intro. Here we go.
I hate starting it in the negative tone, right? I hate doing it. And the Yankees did pull out a win today, so that's nice. But when you're sitting there saying, well, I'm glad we took 1 out of 4 from the fucking Angels, there's a problem.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I didn't realize it was a 4-game set. I thought they got swept already because I was like, oh, who cares at this point? I forgot they were playing Thursday afternoon. Absolutely atrocious. I mean, there was literally nothing positive to see with the Yankees for the last 6 games. I mean, you had a game in Boston. I think they won. It was 2-2. They lost in extra innings. They lose that game 3-2. They lose the next game 4-3. So they scored 5 runs compared to they're 7 at that point. And they only gave up 7 runs. And for a Yankees offense, it's been pretty strong throughout the months of March, April, May. You figured 5 runs in 2 games, they probably could overcome that. Couldn't do it. Right. Then you have 6 runs. Sorry, 7 runs. I'm sorry, 7 runs. You figure they could overcome that. They can't do that. Then they get shut out. They lose a game 2-0 on Sunday. Then they
1-0.
Then they lose a 1-0 game. Then they lose a 4-0 game. And then they finally score runs, breaking their scoreless drought. And they still lose the game 3-2. And the most insane stat of this all is that the New York Yankees, when it comes to having the ghost runner in the extra innings, everyone's like, oh, that should benefit teams. It's a guy on second. The Yankees have lost all of their extra inning games, and they have not scored the ghost runner this season.
They have no idea how to put the ball in play and move people over. That's the problem. How many times do we have to say it? Year after year, they don't know how to play small ball. How do you not just fucking get him over to third? Just do it. I don't care if Aaron Judge is up. Fucking bunt him. I don't care. I'm sick of these fucking apologists saying you don't pay Aaron Judge to bunt. Guess what? When you're trying to win fucking baseball games and it's extras and they're giving you a man on second, you fucking bunt him over when you're anemic at fucking scoring runs, right? You give yourself the advantage, but they can't do it. They make every fucking excuse as to why, we pay this guy this salary, we do this, we do that. They are unable to play small ball and give every fucking statistical and analytical reason why, yet it's just as simple as you're not winning, play fucking small ball.
I don't get, and this is like for every team, it should be when there's a ghost runner on second, it should be a sack bunt, sack fly, get him in. And I feel like the Yankees go up there's a guy in second, and they're swinging for the fences,
Yeah.
whether they're away or they're home. I get it. You're at home. Home run wins the game no matter what. But they're swinging for the fences. Literally, sack bunt, sack fly. That's all it is. And it's not just them. I watched the Mets had an extra, I almost went overtime again. Extra inning game against the Braves this weekend. And I watched that game, and it's the same thing. The Mets flew out twice. One of them was a infield fly. I'm like, what are you doing? Like you're an infield ply.
This is
put it on the ground, bunt it over, or move them over, just any way possible, and they can't do it. It's impossible. It's just the way the MLB is right now.
But it's not though, because I feel like when you watch the NL, they're more adept to playing for the run and doing the basic baseball fucking logic, saying, "Hey, the best way to get a run across right now is to just sacrifice one out for a man on third, and anything can happen. A seeing eye single, a sack fly, somebody fucking drops a ball. Like you never know. But just choosing to not move the guy over and instead grounding out, or let's say letting the team walk you and then hitting into a fucking double play, which the Yankees are phenomenal at, right? It's irritating. And that's the one criticism I have of the Yankees, especially going into the postseason. And I will tip my cap to Met fans and the NL in general, is teams like the Braves, the Mets, these teams will fucking do what they have to do to get a run across. They will bunt, they will hit and run, they will fucking steal. The Yankees won't do any of it because apparently they're top tier baseball. Top tier, but they haven't fucking, there he is. There's our guy, Matt.
I was just about to wait for TJ to be done ranting. I don't want to interrupt TJ's rant. I was about to let you in, Matt.
I heard a little bit of the rant about Judge bunting. Was this yesterday?
No. We were just talking in general, just how they have not been able to score.
The Yankees can't score with the ghost runner. They can't do it.
You have the ghost
runner. Listen, you're welcome. I go to the game and they break the snide. Finally.
What was the final score of the game?
7-3.
Oh, so they actually scored 7 runs. It's pretty. Yeah. How many home runs they hit?
I want to say it was Grisham. It was Goldschmidt because I didn't parlay it. I think maybe that was it for the Yankees. And then Trout and I think Joe Adele hit one. I think there were like 4 home runs in
the first 2 innings, right?
Right, yeah.
I was wondering because I wanted to see if the Yankees had any more, because I was busy today running around doing stuff because of the day off. So it's like time to just run errands, and my daughter had a half day, so I wanted to see because they scored 7 runs. We've been talking about how they haven't been unable to score runs, and it's like they're home run or bust. So like this fact they scored 7 with only 2 solo shots is, I guess, impressive by them. So
no, it is. Listen, I don't want to act like I don't want to see fucking home runs and shit. Don't get me wrong. Of course I do. You can't lean on them like that, though. No, I am in no way a baseball purist where I think a pitcher's duel is a great way to spend a fucking 4-hour day at the park. No, thank you. I do not want to see a 1-0 game. It's just, unless somebody's going into the 8th or 9th with a no going or something like that, and unlike ESPN throwing that fucking stat up for the World Series, College World Series, it's like everybody on Twitter unanimously tweeted out. It's like, what are you fucking doing? Oh my God. And at that point, it was a fucking perfect game, I believe. After that, he gave up a walk, and that was the end of it. But I believe he ended up pitching the no-no. That was like the first no-no in College World Series, I believe, in like 40 years or some shit like that.
It was something like that. Yeah.
That was impressive. But again, I'm not into the, I don't want to sit there and watch a pitcher's duel in the afternoon for a game. I want to see runs. But when you just sit there and wait for home runs and all you care about is exit velocity and uppercutting the ball and swinging for a home run, strikeout, or pop out, it's like somebody needs to be able to do, like, I'm not saying it's easy, but it was really nice having Ichiro at the end of his career, who's just like, I'm just going to slap it over the second baseman's head because it's a fucking easy single. And then he would just do that
because he got routinely. Ichiro got it from Japan, where he started, that it wasn't about, the home runs, where it was like chicks dig the love ball. Home runs get you paid. So no one ever goes, oh, geez, I wonder how many hits he had or how many singles. It's, wow, Judge is on pace for 70 home runs again, 120 RBIs. That's the only stat people care about. Right. It's like, oh, yeah, we won 3-0. Woohoo. But it's like you had one hit up into the 6th inning and it was a Judge home run. So it's like, there's no small ball anymore at all. I came in late about the bunting. I wouldn't necessarily have someone like Judge or Stanton in that bunting situation. I would have like a Bellinger, like a Jazz, guys who I wouldn't want to put Judge in that situation because he's there to hit home runs. Even though
I get it, but when you can't score runs with the ghost runner, right? And on top of the fact that, and I get it, dude, I don't want Judge digging out of the box like he's going to get a single out of it, but you just jog down first base to make sure you draw the throw over there and you move the fucking guy over. Especially when you're in a fucking skid, dude. Losing 6 of the last 7 is embarrassing. Getting smoked by the fucking Red Sox and then getting absolutely manhandled by the Angels 3 out of 4 games. It's like, what are we doing?
It was embarrassing. Aside from Trout, who's on that team? Who's on the Angels?
No, right, 100%.
That's what I'm saying. It's a really bad.
Excuse me.
Always their shortstop Neto is the only one who's like decent besides Trout.
But I see, to Matt's point, and I understand, and I tip the cap. You can't argue with dollars and cents, right? These guys know what they get paid for. They know what generates a bigger contract. But when you break down all the huge contracts across baseball, right? How many World Series does Aaron Judge have, and how much does he get paid? How many World Series does fucking Trout have? How much does he get paid? Ohtani got his, but holy shit, did the LA Dodgers have to spend literally billions of dollars to do it if we're going to call a spade a spade. They've spent over $1 billion on this team to do it.
Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Ohtani, and then you have the other pitchers there too. And then they just bring in Blake Snell too this year.
Right.
And they traded for Tyler Dennis now.
Soto, so if the Mets don't get a World Series from Soto, it's like, wow, you bought that dude a fucking wardrobe and gave him $1 million suite for every fucking game, and you did all this shit. Like, honestly, and then when people talk about it, I honestly think that Yankee fans want a championship, and I know Yankee fans will say Yankees need a championship before the Mets do, but I honestly think when the money comes out and you're putting up the statistics of what the payroll is and how much the Mets have invested, and to their credit, their owner, Steve Cohen, going for broke, trying to be the LA Dodgers pretty much by himself. The LA Dodgers, remember, are pretty much a trust, right? There's like how many different owners built into that ownership system. So they have a little bit of leeway when it comes to generating money to sign all these contracts. Cohen's doing it by himself out of his own pocket. I understand, like, not completely, but it's a little different. But I think the Mets honestly have to win a fucking World Series. Like, they're on the button of have
I agree. I agree. To go back to Judge real quick, it was funny because, Rich, our boy, Rich Rad, hates Judge. Didn't like that. He got all that money, to be re-signed, made the captain.
Which apparently wasn't that much money in today's standard, like 2 years later.
Yeah.
Right. Which is crazy. But it's more of you have to – the Yankees aren't the Yankees anymore from what we saw when we grew up in 96, 98, 99, 2000, even 01.
Not Georgia's team.
They should have had
Georgia's
01.
team.
It's not. And I was at Danino's.
Nice.
Had half a clam pie, half pepperoni. Oh, so good. This guy, John, was the waiter. I had on my all-rise Barstool tank top because it was hot today at the stadium.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, oh, you guys want any apps or anything? I'm like, no, we just came from the Yankee game. Oh, the Yankees, how'd they do? I haven't really been watching. He said he hasn't watched since 2017 when those cunt Astros cheated and took away not only Judge's MVP, but most likely a World Series from us.
Indeed.
And pretty much everything, you were just saying that, Judge doesn't perform in the playoffs, that he didn't earn his stripes. He doesn't like Judge. Why is Judge the captain when he hasn't won anything? And, Nick's has said it before. The Yankees don't care about winning or losing. They care that every single seat is filled to capacity every single night, no matter who they're playing. Today, Juneteenth, no one worked. Everyone was off. Mostly everyone was off. Stadium was packed. 2 rain delays, and people still stayed there. And they probably would have stayed there regardless of what the score was. And it's because that they just want to be there. It's a tourist attraction now. It's It's more of a.
It's Broadway, bro. It's Broadway.
Right,
It's just
right.
like
That's
the
it.
Rangers. It's the Knicks, the
seeing a
Rangers, and the
show.
Yankees. Correct. It's entertainment and Nick says it all the time. The Yankees are now in the business of entertainment. And it's true. And when people, and I know we like to fucking dip our toes into beating up on the WNBA, but guess what? When you don't generate views and you don't generate money because you don't generate views, at the end of the day, it's the business of entertainment. Baseball isn't what it was, and I think it's better off this way. So you don't have the fucking White Sox doing the Black Sox thing and cheat and pretty much throw in the World Series because they weren't getting paid anything essentially, right? It's better off this way, being entertainment and drawing money and being must-see TV or must-go-to state, but it's not like that everywhere else. And the problem is the Yankees will continue to be one of the richest organizations, if not the richest organization in organized sports, in professional sports. They don't have to win. The Knicks do not have to win. The Rangers do not have to win. Literally at the end of the Rangers season, when they were just barely possibly going to eke in the 8th spot, the last wild card, I was hoping they didn't because Dolan came out and said, if we make it to the playoffs, we're raising ticket prices. It's like, guess what? You've already priced out most average fans. I don't have $200 to spend on a fucking game. And that's just to walk in. $20 a beer. Okay. And yes, you don't have to drink. You don't have to eat. But let's call it what it is. If I'm coming from Staten Island, and even if I take the fast ferry, you're talking about an hour fucking commute. And then on the way home, there's no fast ferry. I'm taking the train to the ferry, and it's an hour and a half to 2 hour commute. I'm going to be eating. I'm going to be drinking. I'm going to make a night out of it. So you're talking about at least $400 to $500 to go out for one Ranger game. To go, it's even more for a fucking Knick game, and especially now that they made this playoff run, the ticket price is going to be fucking through the roof next season.
And the thing is too, like with the Yankees, the way the Yankees are now, like they have 27 championships, right? And that's like great. I know a lot of them occurred like early on, like 20s, 30s, but the fact is they could still say that, right?
Right.
And they could use that as like a market. Well, we won 27 champions. Come see the pinstripes. And that's like where they are right now. And they're like, people are going to come see us no matter what because we're the New York Yankees. We had our dynasty in the 90s that reminded everyone what the New York Yankees tradition was. We got all these championships back, and now we're just going to make a ton of money off of it. And that's really where they're at. Are they competitive? Of course they are. They're still They're still 40-something games already. You know,
I honestly think they lucked in.
They're doing. That's what they're going to do. It's
not to cut you off. I'm sorry, Rook, but I think they lucked into being fucking competitive. The baby Yankees had the most impressive fucking run, and they were supposed to lose that season and not do absolutely anything. We didn't spend the money. We didn't make the moves. We were just like, let's let some fucking kids play and let's see what happens. And they were probably the most exciting Yankees team we've seen in the last 15 years. So they lucked into being a competitive fucking team with a lot of homegrown guys and a lot of maneuvers that they did, right? But they just don't want to commit to like crossing that bridge, right? They don't want to do, and I'm not saying we should have sold out for Juan Soto, but we weren't even fucking like, it wasn't a do or die thing like it was for the Mets, right? The Mets were like, we have to get him or the fucking walls are collapsing down on us and we'll never be competitive again. And every Met fan is going to riot if we don't get him or if Cohen doesn't offer him the world, right? And if he says no, then that's on him, fuck Soto, right? And the Met fans would be motherfuckering him like the Yankee fans did. Even though most Yankee fans are like, okay, he was a hitman assassin rental. He did a great job. If he doesn't want to be here, no problem. The Yankees made an offer, but the Yankees are not ready to sell out. You know what I mean? The Yankees have the ability to be like, oh, hey, you know what? The Angels aren't doing much. Hey, we'll take Trout's contract off you for this. Oh, you know what? Send Bryce Harper over here. We had multiple opportunities to get Bryce Harper. He wanted to be a Yankee. He's a diehard Yankee fan, and yet we don't pull the trigger. Because why? Oh, well, fans are going to show up anyway. Corporate seats are going to be bought whether we have anybody or nobody. We can fucking bring in the entire Oakland Athletics team, and we will still make the same amount of money.
Yeah.
I think they didn't get Bryce Harper because of Brett Gardner, because Nick always brings that up, right? Because they had 4 outfielders already.
Yeah, Brett Gardner sucked then when they had the opportunity to.
Bryce Harper, a lefty who would dominate.
Who wants to be there.
Right. And that's the thing. You want to get guys that you want. Like Soto, fuck Soto. And this is kind of like what.
Hold on, but before you go there, the whole thing with Soto is not that it's the player. It's that if you have another player around Judge and Stanton, you are padding that fucking lineup to now you have a hole in the middle that somebody has to get a pitch to hit. And it worked out well. And then, like, why wouldn't you? If Soto, you don't go after, get somebody fucking else. How do you not go after Devers? How do you not go after fucking what's his face from Houston? Yes, like what are we doing?
The Houston Nationals were not trying to Tucker to the New York Yankees. I'm sorry, they weren't. I don't know.
I hear you.
The best package, they were not giving them to the Yankees.
Even if they went after Bregman, though.
But you want to know what these
they probably
teams
should have went
do?
after Bregman because they do need a third baseman. The third base is a big hole.
They don't want to spend the money, and there's things that make sense. And like, how much are we going to kiss what's his face's ass as GM? Like, I'm over it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they bought him another year because they went to the World Series, and so did Boone. So they bought himself at least another year.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And that's why. And when I say fuck Soto, it's more of we did everything we possibly could for this guy who wasn't homegrown, who was with us for a year and a half, and we also
not even a year and a half, just a year.
It was just so even worse. We didn't have him for half a year when we made the trade.
He traded him in the offseason. He started at the Yankees and left.
Oh, it wasn't the offseason? Okay.
It wasn't a trade. Wasn't the year before and then he stayed. It was the offseason.
Got it. Okay. And then they traded away Michael King, who I liked a lot.
Which they need right now.
Right. And the whole thing with Soto, I always liked Soto. I thought, just doing fantasy baseball, I knew about him for a while, Nationals, Padres. But like when he came here, I honestly thought it was going to be a long-term thing to where he fits right in. He's with Judge, he's with the team, and it's just Stanton. Everything just meshed. But then that fifth inning of the World Series, I think he made his mind up, like, for real. If they win the World Series, I think that whatever they offered him would have been accepted. The suite wouldn't have been a big deal because he has a ring. But by not signing him, we were able to get, right now, in my opinion, the best pitcher in baseball, Max Fried. He's just been phenomenal. We were able to get Bellinger, who I really like. I like Bellinger a lot.
I'm with you.
And he's been shaky, but he did good today. Wasn't a safe situation. Devin Williams.
Defensively.
So they didn't take Soto, and they added other pieces. My thing with Yankee fans, where they were like bashing Soto, turning their back on Soto, give it a fucking rest. Give it a rest. You probably had no idea who the fuck this guy was prior to him coming to the Yankees, and now you're like, oh, you left. I'm gonna turn my back. And the worst part about those fans turning their back, and this is something else I'm going to talk about from when I saw today at the game. Majority of those fans were wearing Yankee jerseys with the fucking name on the back. Do not get me started on that. Do not get me started. I saw it all around today. I'll get to that later. But, like, those are fans. Those aren't the real fans. Those aren't the people that were there in 96, 98, 99, 01 crying when they lost the World Series.
No, dude, it's the same thing when the fucking Islanders went to Brooklyn for 3 years or whatever the fuck it was. You had hipsters fucking walking around with the hipster bullshit with an Islanders jersey and like in the middle of winter with like cargo shorts on and sandals with socks. It's like, oh, this is a trend thing now? Like, what are we fucking doing?
At the game today, I had these annoying ass hipsters behind us. So much to the point, Melissa made a comment. So you know what she's saying something?
Oh, yeah.
She was like, the people behind us, I haven't had any carbs today or gluten. Maybe this seltzer will fill me up. It was nonstop. The guy was like, oh, it's so hot. I'm going to have to take an oat bath when I get home. And yes, I take baths. And like, they're just going on and on and on. And then the thing that got me the most was, do you need a shade break? Is it time for a shade break, everybody? Should we go up underneath and, get our shade? What the fuck are you doing here? What are you doing here?
The Wiggles weren't in town. That's the problem.
And this is why
there wasn't any protest today for them to come.
Right.
Dude, it's embarrassing. I'm with you. No, At that point, I not to be a scumbag, I would have been like on a mission. I'd have been like, you know what? I need nachos, I need a chili cheese dog, and I need a fucking steak sandwich pronto, and give me 3 beers. And I would have just started annihilating one in my pants. But like, yo, you guys are smelling gluten right now, gentlemen. Sorry.
No one knows me too is that the name of the back of jersey. Like I've legitimately gone to like when what else was around or like Dick's.
Just boo them,
like,
boo.
And like once I see like the name, I'm like, I'm not buying that. Like I'm not buying a
Right.
pinstripe jersey with the name with the back of it. Will I buy a jersey, like a t-shirt one? Sure.
Different.
I'm
Yeah.
not buying a pinstripe one.
Brooke,
Right.
it's very simple. What's better? Buying a bullshit jersey that's also bootleg. It's not official from fucking Models or whatever, Fanatics or whoever sells the fucking shit with the name on the back for $75, or getting a Chinese knockoff that was probably made in the same fucking factory as the other jerseys that are made for $50. I will take my knockoff any day of the week.
100%. And you know what too? Because I think one time on Twitter, someone tweeted out, they were like, "Oh, Yankee fans with names in the back aren't real Yankee fans." They're like, "Well, maybe they can't afford real authentic jerseys." I'm like, those are just as much money as
They are
without the name on it.
They
So
are.
if you're gonna spend that money on the jersey, you might as well get no name on it and have like a Yankee. Like everyone knows, Yankees do not put names in the back. It's how it's always been. It will,
Right.
and that's the way it always will be. That's one rule that will never change. The beard's gonna go away, but the one rule is never gonna change. They're not gonna start putting names in the back. That's the tradition of the Yankees. You know that if you're a Yankee fan, you know that for years. That you cannot have. I don't care how much money you spend on it. Don't make it the excuse of, well, they're poor, they can only afford this. No. If you're buying that, you could afford one without the name on it. Sorry.
Back in the day, the names on the jerseys never had the MLB patch. Now they do.
Yeah.
Now it'll say Judge 99 with that patch back there. And I'm like, if you're a kid, so different. Like the little kids that do it, like I had this kid by me who was loving the game, enjoying it with his dad, Mark Teixeira. And he was not old enough to be wearing that when Teixeira played. Because Teixeira, what, 10 years now it's been? Maybe 15?
Probably just about.
You know, this kid had to be 8 or 9 this kid was. And there's
probably
no
hand
way
me down
he
from
knew
his
who
brother.
that was.
Yeah,
right. And that's cool.
Kids ones they don't sell without the names for some reason.
Right. So for me, that's okay. But when there's like a grown ass adult and you have like the name on the back, just stop it. You know, go home, change. Like you're not a man. You're just not. And
Sienna has a pink Jeter jersey and it says Jeter on the back, but it's not a real pinstripe though. So that's why I allow it to go.
See, again, kids, okay. Like when I go to a Ranger game and I see girls wearing fucking Rangers jerseys in pink that say Lundqvist and Hank hasn't played in fucking 7 years or whatever the fuck it's been. It's like you're exactly like Matt said. You're just a fan because it's the hip, cool thing to do, right? It's entertainment. You're wearing your fucking Aladdin on Broadway t-shirt that you bought for $47 because you went to a show one time, right? Like it's very irritating for real fucking fans. Especially when these fans are very vocal on Twitter and they're the first ones to say like, oh, no, you can't trade this person. No, you can't get rid of Brett Gardner. He's a fan favorite. I don't give a fuck. When you bat under 200, fuck you. I don't care. I bring you out back and shoot you, right? Like they say, it's a fucking business. You either produce or you fuck off. Let's call it what it is. Brett Gardner stayed about 3 years past his welcome. And he got paid a lot of money to stay past his welcome, and people honestly felt bad for him. Like, that's like, think of the laziest person at your job that gets paid to do the job you do, but really you cover their fucking shit because they're dumb or whatever the fuck they got going on. They're the boss's fucking nephew. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, that's what it is. You have to sit there every fucking day and watch this asshole not do anything, and you're like, they get fucking paid the same amount as me. This is bullshit.
We have to move on from the Yankees soon, but I just want to, because you just mentioned Brett Gardner, I want to say one more thing about the Yankees and like people who are fans. On TikTok recently, I saw one that came across as a girl in a Yankee hat, and she's like, I thought the NY stood for New York. Next thing you know, now I'm a baseball fan of the Yankees or whatever. And people are like, the NY does stand for New York. What the fuck are you talking about? And then she's like, for some reason, like days later, I like swiped up because I'm like, this is stupid. I swiped up, didn't like it. And days later, the second like sequel to that video was a picture of her, the same picture, and it commented the comment that says NY does stand for New York. I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, I thought it was just a New York thing. I didn't know it was. She's like, and then she's like, explained that she's from another state. She's like from down south. She thought the NY symbol, like the interlocking NY and the Yankees hat, was just a New York thing, not a New York Yankees thing. And she had no idea the Yankees existed until this year. And now she's a Yankee fan. This 2 videos had like over 100,000 likes. This girl has no idea about the Yankees whatsoever. But because she wrote a stupid thing on TikTok, people are like, "Oh my god, this is great! Now she's a Yankee fan. This is so funny. This is stupid." Like these people.
If a guy did that, roasted.
And they're gonna, you'd be destroyed. And she's gonna be talking about in a couple of years how like, oh, you can't cut Austin Wells because
right.
Like he's a homegrown Yankee, and it's like right now he's the best catcher Yankees because that's all we have.
Yes.
And he's not even having a good season. Like it's what it is. And
the problem is, and I'm assuming that's on TikTok. You were seeing that?
Yeah, it was on TikTok.
Yeah. The problem with TikTok is since they're not Chinese anymore, and now there's like an American oversight. They're very, very, very liberal with the like, oh, you can't say anything to anybody. I commented something along the lines of like, LOL, that's pretty stupid. Like it was somebody like pretty much getting run over at a fucking one of those, pop-up street fucking takeovers, and somebody's doing donuts, somebody gets run over. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty stupid. It's like, this violates our policy. It's like, so a common sense statement violates your policy. It's like, and that's why people like that chick can post those videos. Because in reality, there should be 100 fucking comments that says you're fucking retarded. Like, please don't drive any vehicle around pedestrians because they're in fucking danger.
And it's funny you say about the thing because I know I've posted on TikTok on my account. Like I've done like some of the TikTok trends. People like I did like some Yankee stuff, whatever. Yeah. And people like or like Nick stuff, like yo, Nick suck, whatever. I'm getting messages from TikTok asking me if I want to approve these messages from other people because they're not showing on my account because they're offensive. So I'm like, he goes, do you want to approve it? I'm like, yes. Like they're telling me Nick sucks. I don't even care. I'm like, yes.
Right, don't be fucking soft. Imagine being soft on like that's the problem. Everybody fucking is soft today. Comments, it's like, it's like, dude, they're strangers on the internet. If you actually give a shit what a stranger on the internet thinks, you're an asshole. Feel free to roast me right now. You can say the nastiest, meanest shit to me that you want. That just means that you fucking took 2 seconds to watch my retarded ass, which makes you retarded. I don't know what to like. Call it what it is. But fucking roast me. I there's plenty to roast. I'm fucking overweight. I'm losing my hair. I'm wearing a Spam t-shirt because I fucking love Spam, and I will die on that hill.
I thought that was a Michigan shirt because the microphone's blocking the Spam.
No. Hold on a second. Spam is way better than Michigan. If you gave me the choice right now of Spam and Michigan goes away forever, or the reverse, it's like, bye, Michigan. I am sorry.
I mean,
the school or like the place?
I agree.
Michigan, the whole state. I would wager if you try to take away Spam and I know Hawaii's with me. They're like, yeah, fuck Michigan.
Yeah, 100%. They love that Spam. 100%. That's great. But anyway, speaking of aging out, older all-stars or aging stars, not all-stars, but from a team, we have to get into our here it is. We have to get into our hockey segment.
Hey,
and speaking of what I was trying to allude to is that we're talking about aging stars. You talked about Brett Garner before. 3 years past his welcome, which was 100% true. The New York Rangers made a move last week for a fan favorite, one of my favorite Rangers. Listen, I adore Chris Kreider. I think he's been a great Ranger for his career.
Tremendous Ranger.
But he's aging. It was time to go.
The heart wasn't there. The fire wasn't there. It's not even about production. He wasn't the same player anymore. And it started 2 seasons ago where all of a sudden he didn't feel like taking the fucking beating in front of the net to score those fucking bullshit deflection goals, right? Like getting the garbage goals. That was his spot, to stand in front of the net and get the shit kicked out of him. Listen, I'm not saying that anybody can just go and do that. That takes a fucking man. That takes a warrior to stand there and take a beating in your back. Getting somebody fucking just cross-checking you the entire time Or if you've never played hockey, what defensemen like to do is lean their stick right down on your fucking the small of your back above your tailbone, and that literally kicks your fucking body forward, and your skates come out from underneath you. There's little dirty things they can do like that. The man took a beating and
about
earned.
hockey here?
Yes, we are. We are. It's not a good kind of manhandling, Matt. I'm sorry. It's not the kind of manhandling that you get on the way home from fucking Yankee Stadium at one of those rest areas. You know what I mean?
James,
listen. Fucking Kreider was a workhorse, right? And the same thing with Lindgren. Lindgren was a warrior. I didn't want to see him go. The production ended, and it didn't seem like he had the same fucking. But again, it's hockey, dude. Unfortunately, with hockey, it comes at you like a brick fucking wall. You can score 30 goals, and then the next season not score more than 3, and it's done. Your season is done. Your career is done. It's just the way it is. You can't keep up anymore. The speed is ridiculous in the NHL level right now. You know, these guys are just fucking monster athletes. They're machines of muscle, right? You don't get the beer swigging fucking Broad Street bullies like beer guts and ripping cigarettes in the fucking locker room. Like, that's not, these guys are like machines now. They're well-tuned, well-oiled animals. And you just hit the wall. And unfortunately, Kreider dipped a lot this season, and it didn't look like the fire was there, and we made a move. And you know what? Getting somebody to take on his contract, number one, is tremendous. We got a decent haul in return, right? What's it? The kid, Casey.
Is it Carey?
Yes. No, Taras, that we got in Carey Taras. Thank you. Carey Taras, from that trade and a pick back. I think we moved up I think we went from a 4th round to a 3rd round pick. So it was great. But right now, the Rangers need to focus on the fact that they fucked themselves last year when they got rid of Trouba and signed Igor to that monster contract. That's going to hurt us. That's going to haunt us. He's not worth that kind of money. No goalie is worth that kind of money. You know who's worth that kind of money? Connor fucking McDavid. That's who's worth that kind of money. Somebody that's going to change the entire dynamic of your fucking team. And the problem is when the Rangers lay out all this money, they handicap themselves from going after anybody that becomes available. And honestly, we are in an NHL that it's all about scoring goals, right? Scoring goals and a little bit, right? Getting a little bit back to beating the fuck out of the other team. The Panthers were beating the fuck out of everybody. They went a little old school again this season, and it works out for them. Big boys going out there, throwing big checks, and then scoring goals and having playmakers. They picked up fucking Brad Marchand, who I can't stand, but the dude fucking gave them a monster edge, and the Oilers couldn't contend with it.
I was going to say, the Panthers won the Stanley Cup back-to-back, one of the storylines this week. Brad Marchand, I hate him. I hate him so much. He was incredible.
Elite.
He scored a goal in every game in the first 3 games, and then he scored a game.
And was in everybody's fucking head.
And then he scored 2 goals in game 5. And game 5, he had that one play that was he just skated through like 2 or 3 guys and scored a goal. It was incredible. And you know what? Listen, he's 37. Listen, I'm 37 too. I can't move like that. Right? Listen, that's a guy who is, and that's, I'm not saying 37 is old as in terms of, life then, but for a 37-year-old hockey player who's spent this entire career in Boston, gets traded to Florida Panthers and a new team, new system, whatever it might be, and just steps up and basically carries them to a Stanley Cup and then the Stanley Cup final. I mean, there's no better story than that right now in hockey, and I can't stand the guy.
I don't know. I forget what player it was. It was a quick TikTok, but the homeowners shared their Ring camera.
Oh, yeah, Barkar. That was Barkar.
Yes, thank you. I was just quickly looking, and all I saw was the video. I didn't know who it was, but I see the Stanley Cup in the background, and I'm like, oh, shit. And you see the wife get on the ring like, he's coming down. He's coming down.
Yeah.
Imagine somebody banging on your door like, we got the fucking cup. It's like
they said it was 5 a.m. in the morning. He came back home celebrating the Stanley Cup, and he fucking rang his neighbor's door. I was like,
they were partying through the night apparently, and went right to like a beach bar in the morning, and that opened up like early, and they were fucking partying at the beach bar. There was videos of them filling up the Stanley Cup on the second floor with beer and then pouring it over onto the fucking fans. Like, imagine being up below and getting a sip from the Stanley Cup, dude.
It's so cool too. The Stanley Cup is one of my favorite trophies. Like, first of all,
it's the trophy, dude.
Is one of the hardest things to do, and I think in sports.
Yes.
Hockey's so physical, and they play for 2 months. There's 4 rounds to win a Stanley Cup. You got to win 16 games, and you're probably playing much.
They said Kachuk's fucking oblique or some shit was
Yes.
like off the bone. Like
Yes.
they were like, yeah, his muscle wasn't attached, and it probably hasn't been attached for a while.
Yeah, and they're just playing through it, and like this is all for the Stanley Cup, and it's
Huh?
it's one of the coolest things. The fact that like everyone in that team and the organization gets one day with that cup is just such a cool tradition. Everything about the Stanley Cup is fucking epic.
To put it in like, because I know hockey is a very small sample size of fans. Like you're either a diehard hockey fan or you're a fan that's like, you know what, I like watching it in the playoffs, which I understand that it's very exciting playoffs.
So exciting.
Or you don't give a fuck about hockey, which is the majority, right? But these guys are fucking animals, and they beat the shit out of each other every night, night after night, week after week. And then the playoffs go 2 fucking months. And then you finally get to hoist a cup that has fucking names on it from 80 years ago, wherever the rings, I guess, get eliminated as they go on. I think it ends up being like 50 years or something like that for the trophy or something like that. So the bottom piece comes off. But still, like, you get to touch a piece of fucking history. Dude, I don't care if you had a homeless man shit in the Stanley Cup and then dumped it on fans. I'd be down below like, I don't fucking care. Like, it is what it is. Like, oh, it's fucking Stanley's Cup. I don't care. And it's not that fucking bullshit like, oh, yeah, I paid $40 to drink fucking iced tea out of it and look fancy. No, this is the real Stanley Cup, ladies.
You know what? If it ever wins in New York, there's plenty of homeless to go around to help you with that.
Dude, if the Rangers win the Stanley Cup, I am telling you right now, I will find a way to find where that fucking cup is. I will call in every favor, every fucking high-end city official that I know, every fucking high-up cop. I don't give a shit who I have to bribe. I will find a way into a bar, and there will be fucking Igor Shesterkin standing there and fucking Panarin, hopefully, and then me in the background getting choked out by some fucking security guard. It's like, I was there. I don't give a shit. I'm finding a way in, dude. I'm finding a way in.
Other Ranger news, they extended Matt Rempe 2 years.
2 years. Beautiful, dude. And again, I want to say that it has to be seeing the trend. I hope seeing the trend of they fucking had a slow start with Rempe this year. All of a sudden, they insert him into the lineup and they have fucking spark and fire. And the fourth line was their fucking spark this season when Rempe was in the lineup, without a doubt, dude. People were not scoring on our fourth line, and we were keeping pace, right? And we were giving our first and second lines rest. They just couldn't fucking do anything with that rest. But you got to go with the trend, dude. Big bodies, get a little fucking gruff, get a little physical, because you know what? Nobody else is. And if the Rangers aren't going to fucking be able to spend money and go after 50-goal scorers or 40-goal scorers, we're going to have to do something. Learn from the fucking Panthers. Beat the shit out of teams. Beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, and then you have Panarin, too. Like, Panarin's kind of soft, so you need someone to protect him. I think Rempe's that guy. A lot of people don't like Rempe because, like, he gets nice, just fights all the time. That's fucking hockey. If you don't like it, don't watch fucking hockey. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, guess what? Marty McSorley literally got paid. Marty McSorley got paid to play hockey. He was not a fucking hockey player. He was a goddamn enforcer. He was a fucking security guard for the fucking stud of studs in Wayne Gretzky. And it was, oh, hey, even if you stick check this guy, I'm going to put you in the fucking hospital. And guess what? It worked.
Yeah. All right.
Is that a stick check or a dick check?
Stick check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
No, you have to wear a cup in hockey. It's not like one of those things where like soccer players, like, questionable. Baseball players, depending on where you're playing, questionable if you wear a cup. In hockey, you wear a cup or you fucking lose your testicles.
Yeah, basically.
And somebody will give you a cup check.
One of my favorite things in hockey is the playoff format. Like the every round's best of 7. I wish baseball did that, especially for the first round division series, but I am more of a playoff hockey fan, and it's just it's intense, and it's like really exciting.
You get into it. I know I'm a diehard Ranger fan, but even watching some of these series that the Rangers were not in, like, you see a little fucking extracurricular, and you're a little like, oh man, that's not nice. That's not right. And then somebody comes across, it's like, yeah, fuck him up. And it's like, ooh, I don't even fucking like either one of these teams.
Yeah, I mean,
awesome.
I didn't really care for the teams. I don't care for the teams in the NBA Finals. You don't find me watching NBA Finals. A Stanley Cup Final, I watched, I think the first 4 games. I watched the last game, too.
Mm-hmm.
The first 4 games, 3 of the first 4 games went to overtime. 2 of them went to double overtime. I think 2 of them went to double overtime. which is like fucking awesome. It's like just grinding hockey, people just destroying each other.
And that's the one thing, man. If you go out to a bar and you get a hockey group, it's one of the most fun groups in the world. And it doesn't matter if you're opposing fan bases and shit. It is a good time. We were on our cruise this past February, me, my wife, my son. Excuse me. And we were up in Royal Caribbean has a sports bar on the boat we were on called Playmakers. And they had the Four Nations on. Dude, it was intense. Oh, my God. It was electric up there. And it was just the 30 people on board that gave a shit about hockey. And nobody went anywhere, dude. It was one of those types of deals where me and my wife sat on a high top, and there was another high top right next to us with 2 chairs. And normally, especially on cruises, people like space. And, this dude came up to me. He's like, hey, can I sit here with you? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely, man. Nobody's sitting in that seat. And some other random dude was like, hey, is this seat taken? It's like, absolutely not. Like, everybody was huddled together and in for it. You know what I mean? And when the USA lost to Canada, bro, it was like I was looking at everybody like, that guy might go for the rail. He might go for the rail on deck 14. Somebody watch that, man. Like, dude, it was heartbreaking. It was silent when we walked out of there.
That game, I remember that game. That game sucked. What was it called? The 4 countries? What was it?
Four Nations.
4 Nations. Right. All right, well, moving on from hockey to
Whiskey of the Week.
Oh, yeah.
TJ, what do we got?
So I am going to pour myself a little gift.
The Frey Ranch. Is that the Father's Day one?
It is, dude. It is.
Nice.
My wife bought me this Father's Day single barrel from Frey Ranch, picked by Frey Ranch Dads 2025. Nice. It is 131.04 proof, barrel strength, straight bourbon whiskey. It is a 4-grain mash bill. I explained this before, but I love Frey Ranch because if you like farm to table food, this is farm to bottle. They make the grains. They do the entire process. They grow everything. They put it in their mash bill. They distill it. They barrel it. They got it all. They might not have their own cooperage. They probably buy barrels from other people, but I mean, from the seeds to the glass, it is all on them. Everything is in-house. It's awesome. It's a family owned and run business. I believe this one was 6 years old.
That's why it's Frey Ranch, right? That's the last name.
It's the ranch that everything is made of. Frey Ranch. Yeah. So cool. I gave some to my dad who doesn't like bourbon. I'm like, dude, it's Father's Day. You have to have a sip. Gave some to my brother. My brother absolutely loved it. He's like, that is so freaking sweet. I'm like, dude, I know. And again, 131 proof. The proof doesn't really get you on the front. It's in the back of the palate.
Yeah. Yeah, I just signed up for their newsletter. They said they're releasing another single barrel soon.
Everything that they release, and that's the way to do it, dude, because it sells out within a day or two. Like, you have to get on their newsletter. I believe the newsletter is called The Dirt, because that's where everything starts. Very clever. And they have really good deals. I bought their single grain series. Their single grain was the wheated one I bought. It was 100% wheat whiskey. And
that's coming out again.
They're coming out again, but in the big bottles. I bought it in the small 375 milliliter bottles. It was like $60. I just saw that they're coming out again. I think they're like $125 for the big 750 milliliters. Yeah, but that's another one that's tremendous. But this one right here, dude, it's got a nice oak on the end. It's a long finish, but the brightness and the sweetness up front, it's like it's not a candy sweetness. It's a very creme brulee, vanilla, and like burnt butterscotch sweetness. It's just a very high-end flavor. It's, dude, for the price that, my wife got this for, she hooked it up. It was a tremendous gift. This is a really good bottle. I honestly think, and I generally don't do this with bottles I really like because I like drinking my whiskey neat most of the time. I'm going to try this in an old-fashioned because I think the sweetness is really going to come through. Yeah. And then the proof, my wife, thank you, Carissa. You fucking killed it.
Yeah, sweet bourbon with an old-fashioned is probably really good. Oh, yeah. I'm not going anything special, nothing crazy. I got the 1792 small batch tonight.
I've had that
Great
before.
bottle. Great bottle.
It's good. It's a good bottle.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
I went to my mother-in-law gave me Father's Day. For Father's Day, she gave me a Sam's Club membership. I went today. I bought this. It's only $21 at Sam's Club.
Really?
Yeah, it's cheap.
That's pretty damn good.
I think it's like usually like what, 35, 40?
35 to 45. Usually it's under 50. It's an under 50 bottle. If you can find it at the cheapest, it's like $42-ish. But the good thing about 1792 is the $50 price range is pretty much across their lineup. They're single barrel, $50. They're barrel proof, $50. Like if you're not getting it upcharged, if you're getting it at MSRP, the 12-year I think was $60. When it came out at MSRP. Now you can't touch them under $100. But
so I got it because I have the single barrel, the full proof, and the what was the one I have? The bottle and bond.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, I haven't had the small batch in a while, so I'm gonna get it and add it to the 1792 line that I have there. I have 1792, Old Foresters, and Penelopes. Like that's like what my bar basically consists of right now. And then I have I have 2 Bardstown. I have a couple of Angels of it. But this is just a solid bourbon. Like it's a small batch bourbon.
Yeah.
When I saw it sale for $21 at Sam's Club, I was like, I'm
worth it.
Yeah, like
if somebody pulls that as their well bourbon, right? If I go to a restaurant and I'm like, oh, hey, let me get an old fashioned, and they're like, hey, we make it with 1792. Is that good? It's like fucking, hey, yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, it is. I very much enjoyed it. It's made by Barton. Guess what? Up until last year or this past the last release, obviously Costco changes stuff. Guess who makes Costco's fucking
who's this?
Their bottled and bond bourbon? Barton. It's literally 1792 bottled and bond, which you're going to pay $50 for 750 milliliter. They sell it when you can find it, and it sells out immediately.
Oh yeah,
$32 for a liter of 1792 bottled and bond, and that's what it is. It's Kirkland's bottled and bond.
Yeah. But it was I got this. It was like $21, and it's funny because I was with my daughter, and she's like, looking at all the different numbers. Like that one's 51. That one, she's like, Dad, that one's 21, and I'm like, good girl.
That one's coming home.
Yeah,
it's like
you can't take her if you ever get an expensive one. She will sell you out immediately.
Mommy, Daddy said a mortgage payment is going to be late because
the funny thing is, Sam's Club has a case of like the higher stuff.
Yes.
And they had an Angels Envy Sam's Club, like
their single barrel.
Yeah, single barrel.
Yeah.
Which is
what was it, 99?
The regular. It was like like $79, $80.
Oh, that's good, dude. Because they're usually if a store pick gets a single barrel, it's like 99. So that's actually a really good price.
I think
we like the Angels Envy, the proofier ones. They're very good.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure of the price. Don't quote me on it, but it was somewhere around there, which was
makes sense.
I guess not terrible.
No, not at all.
I wasn't going to do it, but she was looking at all the prices. Then she found one bottle. There it was like the Members Mark, which is like the Kirkland Sam's Club.
Yeah,
and it was a peach vodka for $9. She goes, that one's $9. I go, that one it's a headache in a bottle. Like
that's what you buy when you're 17 and you can't.
That's when you're
that's for a prom night mistake.
I'm like, when you want to go to prom night, I'll get you that $9 bottle.
Right.
So Matt, what do we got, pal?
I got into bourbon. I don't have any. I have Gatorade. I forgot my bourbon.
We can stop. Late. We can pause it, bro. Like, come on, go get yourself a pour.
Go get it. We're gonna move on.
Yeah, but I got something to talk about right now. Bourbon related. Get yourself a pour, baby. He's new to bourbon. We got to get him in. I want to hear his tasting notes. I want to hear his tasting notes. He's new to bourbon. We kind of pushed him into it. We're not good at doing the responsible thing. Our peer pressure involves like alcohol and gambling and going to Atlantic City and fucking losing money.
People start learning to play golf too.
Yeah, listen, but shout out to my friend Sean at Echoes in Eternity. 13th Colony, Cash Strength, got on their mailing list, got an email that they put this out there. What they wanted was email this guy, Sean, let him know on their YouTube channel, because they have a podcast, what charities we support. And I sent them an email. I said, listen, our buddy Nick on the podcast, co-host of the podcast, the heart and soul of our podcast, is getting deployed. He's a sergeant first class in the Army. And he often goes on panty runs, which is like the little military shorts, with Irreverent Warriors. And that's a charity pretty much dedicated to vets doing things, interacting. And it's a big, suicide prevention in the veterans community, and our buddy Nick supports them. We support our buddy Nick. We support them. We can't go on the panty runs, unfortunately. We can hang out afterwards, but it's for military personnel only and vets. Understandable.
The run he does.
The
right?
runs that they do, him and his uncle, and
Yeah.
So I let them know, and this guy got back to me, says he absolutely loves that charity. He said they sold out of these bottles. However, he's like, I got an extra one put to the side. I'll give it to you at cost. I'll even cover the shipping. I absolutely love Irreverent Warriors. They're a great cause, and I want you guys to have this. I sent them back. I'm like, dude, I appreciate it. I said, just save it to the end. I said, don't give me. I said, there's people that served our country. There's people that deserve a bottle set to the side way more than I do or we do. I said, so I don't want to take a bottle from somebody that's way more deserving than it. And he was like, dude, not a chance. He's like, you emailed me. He's like, no, I got nobody else emailing me. He goes, your boy's going overseas. He goes, you got a podcast. Have fun on your podcast when he gets back. So, dude, got to pick this up. Cast strength, 13 colonies. It's sealed. It will stay sealed until Nick gets home. We will get him a pour of this. We will all drink a pour of this. We'll rate it. We'll review it. The first whiskey of the week when he gets back.
Yeah.
It is.
We'll have to do a live episode. Or
Yes.
Everyone have to be together.
117.41 proof. This is age 5 years and 3 months. Like it just, come on, look at that color.
I mean, that looks delicious.
So if we didn't miss Nick enough, now it's like, dude, don't fuck around. Don't get yourself in any trouble. Get your ass home.
Yeah. Tell him maybe get her a little early.
get shot in the butt talks.
Get shot in the butt or something. But come home early.
Little friendly fire. Catch a stapler to the side of the head. It's like, oh shit, man down.
Just a staple, not even like a stapler, like an actual staple, like a stapler. Like just someone just do a stapler at him.
Yeah, just winging it at him. That's my stapler. I was told I can keep that. Come on, Matt. What do we got, baby?
What do we got, Matt? Come on.
So, because I can't just do things without telling a quick story. I know you guys always did the bourbon and like I would have parties, AC, frat pack Christmas, always bourbon. And I was always like the
Nick's bachelor party for all the bourbon you could have drank.
Yeah, I wasn't, I also, fuck work, but
But you weren't into bourbon at the time anyway, so
I wasn't. I feel like
You
that
would've
would
been.
have got me in there quicker.
Yeah.
But this past December, I was going through it and stuff, and the first night, I think maybe it was TJ, Nick, myself. We got there. I think we were waiting for you to come a little later.
Yeah, it was late, yeah.
And we got a smoking room, so like we were chilling, and nothing was cold. So they were like, "Oh, let's pour some bourbon." I'm like, I'm not really used to it. Let me have a little bit. Had a little bit of the Angel's Envy. Drank it while we were in the room while we were smoking. Fantastic.
That's
and
a
then
good
we were going to walk.
bourbon.
The best. Dude, my cousin
really
had
is.
that. My cousin had that. My cousin's a gin guy. He had that one time down in Atlantic City. He's like, dude, everybody's ordering whiskey. I'm like, all right, I'll fucking get a whiskey. I ordered Angel's Envy. It was tremendous. I'm like, absolutely, dude. I said, welcome to dipping your toe into bourbon. Soon you're going to jump in at the deep end.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. And, we had the red cups, whatever, and we were going to walk from Caesars to like Hard Rock. And I was like,
because you can drink now on the boardwalk in Atlantic City.
Yeah.
The city of Atlantic City is drinking okay.
Oh, it is.
Well, I'm just saying. No. It's been for like the past 2 years because I believe it was COVID that spurred it on. Because remember, everybody was like kind of when Atlantic City first opened up, there was a lot of alcohol stands on the boardwalk, like open because they didn't want you inside, but they can serve you outside while you're standing there. And that kind of opened up the door to like the township being like, hey, listen, we're not Vegas, we're not the city of sin, but like we're kind of like the city of shame. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're not above this. So why not let people walk up and down the boardwalk drinking alcohol? Everybody's fucking doing it anyway.
Right. Agreed. So we did that, and I fell in love with the Angel's Envy there. And then I started, like a few years prior to that, my job, my team, they got me, she was like Slick, the person. She goes, oh, you're a Yankee fan, right? Or Mets. I'm like, no, Yankees. And she's like, oh, what do you like to drink? And I'm like, I'm not going to be whack and say Tito's. I could pick that shit up myself. Yeah. So in order to like really get into it, I mentioned, like a bourbon or whatever. And it's not this specific bottle, but she got me the Eagle Rare. And this is just what it wasn't even the first one I had. I did the Angel's Envy first. I had, Summer Bub. Nick left it there. I drank it drinking with you guys, and then I fell in love with bourbon because I'm over the beer, feeling bloated and like full and disgusting, and like with the bourbon, you know, I like it with ice, so I guess that's what on the rocks, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah. Whatever you like.
No, it's great. I do that, light a J outside. It's just such a relaxing night and just like end the
slows
day.
everything down, right? Like you can,
it really
I can't
does.
sit here. Like I'm melting right now. It's very hot in my garage. Very fucking hot.
I can see your shoulders.
Yes,
Yeah.
dude.
Right,
To the point where like I told Carissa straight out, I was like, I don't give a fuck that the roof isn't insulated. I don't care that the AC is just gonna leak right out. Right? I don't give a shit. We will fucking pay the difference in the electric bill. I'm gonna put a fucking stand-up AC unit and just have it blowing on me the whole time because you know what? Why not be comfortable? We're only on this planet for so many years.
Yeah.
Why not be comfortable? Because I am absolutely melting. But beers, even worse, especially in humidity. When a beer goes warm, it's fucking atrocious. It really is. I listen. It's not good. It gets foamy. It gets like it almost sucks the like hydration out of you even faster when it's warm. You don't feel like you're drinking anything. You feel like it's just you're pouring sand into your mouth when a beer is warm. Cocktail, like same thing. Right. As a cocktail, the ice melts. It becomes a fucking watered down joke. Yeah, nobody likes watered down anything. I hate watered down soda. You know what I mean? Anything watered down is gross. But when you pour yourself a bourbon with a fat fucking ice cube and you're only pouring yourself a 1.5 ounce, 2 ounce pour, you can finish it over 30 minutes. It's not going to water down too much, especially if you go with a hot bourbon like 131 proof. And you get the enjoyment of slowing down. You don't have to fucking slam it. With a beer in this weather, you're crushing them.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like I love about when I drink bourbon because I'll have a glass or two like every now and like just to unwind. You know, you can just sit there and just sip it. And like I used to drink beers like to unwind. Like I used to have like 3 or 4 beers to get like a little bit of a buzz. And this is gonna sound horrible, but you guys know the next morning it is not a good visit to the toilet.
Beer shit suck.
And I would get so bloated from beers. Like I don't like.
Yes.
I hate the way it makes me feel. Probably because we're getting older. Bodies can't probably handle as much as we were when we were younger. Because I used to crush like 13, 15
we don't bounce back.
No problem.
And I remember us doing pong tournaments. Fucking 12, 15 games a night, just hammered.
Yeah, you drink like 30 beer. You're like close to 30 beers.
At this point,
and this is when you put beer in the cup and you have to drink it fast. So
there was a point where we can all boot and rally, no problem. It's like fucking I threw up 20 minutes ago. I'm ready to go again. Now, if I think about playing beer pong all night, it's like, oh fuck, that's gonna ruin like 2 days of my life.
I hate to say it, but ever since COVID, like. It's been water. Like people put water in the cups as opposed. I love it because I love playing beer pong.
I like to sip at my beer. Yeah, you drink my beer. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I'm there for the competition.
18-year-old me would be laughing right now.
I don't even give a fuck though.
Like you pussy.
Guess what? 18-year-old me didn't have a fucking house with a goddamn bar in the garage. So fuck 18-year-old me.
I mean, seriously, 18-year-old me was trying to get alcohol any way he possibly can. Now I have an entire bar full of it, and I can't even drink all of it at once. You know? So
but the Eagle Rare is great. I don't really know like how to describe the taste. I just like it. And
just go with it, dude. Just what does it trigger in your mind? Because nobody's fucking wrong. That's the whole thing. It's whatever every palate is individualized.
And that was the one thing we learned about when we went to Angel. Was it Angel? No, was it? No, it was Woodford. Woodford, the girl who was doing the tasting, the tour, she was like, taste the bourbon. She's like, there's 100 different flavors in every glass of bourbon. And she's like, and depending upon your palate, you're going to taste a certain types of flavor. And she's like, we're sitting there, we're sipping. She's like, do you taste chocolate? We're like, I taste a little bit of chocolate. She's like, now look at the flowers on the wall. Do you taste a little a floral flavor to it? I'm like, yeah, it kind of does. Like
now smell it and then take a sip with that smell in your fucking brain still bouncing around. And it's like now the smell matches the flavor and you pick out something different.
And or she was gaslighting you, it sounds like.
Dude, but that's what it is. It's like, literally
different unique taste and there's different flavors to it.
But the problem is when these fucking people are like, you know what? I have Tibetan vanilla on the West Coast, and then it's like, dude, fucking stop. Just stop. Madagascar vanilla and a little bit of Brazilian chocolate. It's like, I'm going to kick you in the dick. I hate you. Like, just fucking keep it basic.
Strong.
What,
It's
Eagle
definitely
Rare?
strong. I haven't had, aside from the Stella I had today, just to hydrate at the Yankee game. This is my first drink probably since Saturday or like last Friday. It's funny. I was in Costco and I sent the guys a picture of like a spear ice maker thing.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Dude, I thought about getting that. I fucking thought about getting that. I'm not even lying.
I haven't used it yet. But that's how long it's been. But it's just so, it's relaxing. I guess that's the best way that I can describe that taste right now. It's, it's
calming, warming, little warming down as it goes down. It's like sets the mood. It's lowers your blood pressure a little bit.
It relaxes and calms me. Like I'll smoke, I'll drink at night, I'll smoke, and it just,
Matt, I agree with you.
Everything like melts away, and it's just it's an enjoyable drink. I've been doing the Eagle Rare, I did the Angel's Envy, and I really like Buffalo Trace. I had that. Well, that one was really good.
Well, I told you about that before. Buffalo Eagle Rare is Buffalo Trace, aged 10 years.
Well, no. It's a different mash bill.
It's close though. It's
yes, okay. But it's the same. It's same factory. Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare, Blanton's, E.H. Taylor. It's all the same shit.
But they would say Buffalo Trace and Eagle Rare are like very close to the mash bill, where it's like you're basically it's Buffalo Trace's Eagle Rare is Buffalo Trace like 10 years, age 10 years, which gives it.
I thought it was their mash bill number 2. I could be wrong. I got to look at that.
It's that bottle.
Yeah, we know Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, it's very. Dude, I randomly just picked it up.
And see what you got to look for, Matt. I'm going to give you a little heads up. So, right, Buffalo Trace.
Oh, okay.
What you got to look for is they do store picks of Buffalo Trace, which means it's a single barrel picked by that store, and it will have a little bit of difference. So you get some of these bottles that come out and have a little bit of flavor change from your basic Buffalo Trace, but it's like a welcome fucking change. It's like, ooh. That goes a little more caramel or this or that way. You know what I mean? So every once in a while you stumble into a single barrel store pick and it's like, oh, fuck, that's fire.
Like ShopRite, Wegmans.
Yes. There's a bunch, dude.
In Joyzy, maybe. In Joyzy.
Listen.
I have to go out there, which I don't mind to.
Yeah.
Since you brought up fucking some, that you said the Eagle Rare is hitting you a little strong. Shout out to my man Sean again from Echoes in Eternity, because he's like, hey, have you tried Jack Daniel's Coy Hill? Dude, I pulled it off over here like 5 minutes ago. You didn't see me?
I didn't know you were holding it. Could you just literally put the Buffalo Trace away, and then like a magician pulled that out of your ear?
I have the whole fucking bar here.
I know, but
he's like,
the transition was like a magician transition. Like you were like, the Buffalo Trace is here, and then this bottle's it was like.
He's like, oh, you drank the Buffalo Trace? I
should have taken it out of my ear, like, this little So my man Sean hooked me up with a sample of Jack Daniel's Coy Hill. If you don't know, Coy Hill is like a $90 bottle MSRP. You're not finding it for under $500. Okay, it's just not happening. And Coy Hill came out. I should have asked them. I'm not sure the proof when this Coy Hill came out, because when Coy Hill first came out, they were hazmat proof, over 140 proof. So I don't know if this is that or not. I'm saving this for a special occasion. So I will definitely be returning the favor. Sean said he has yet to try Penelope Havana. I told him it's very underwhelming. He's like, I'd love to try it though. So I'm sending him a sample of that. And I'm definitely sending him a sample of this fucking Father's Day Frame Ranch, because it's just such a good bourbon. I want to share it. So
this may be a hot single. I know. Oh, sorry,
single barrel just means it came out of one barrel. So what happens with Eagle Rare, Blanton's, all that stuff. Well, Blanton's is a single barrel, but Eagle Rare, what happens with Eagle Rare is they take a barrel Eagle Rare, they pour it out, they fill bottles. The reason why they can't call Eagle Rare a single barrel is because the bottle at the end might get 3/4 of the way filled up, and then the next barrel gets dumped, and that might get topped off with a second barrel. So Eagle Rare it's blended, like not blended, but they just dump barrel, dump barrel, dump barrel. So most of Eagle Rare is going to be a single barrel because it came out of one single barrel and not blended with others. Other things like Buffalo Trace is blended together for taste. So a single barrel of Buffalo Trace, it's coming out of that barrel. That's how it tastes out of the barrel. Whereas if you're looking to make a flavor profile, so it's a more even, like you know what you're getting every time you buy that bottle, you'll blend barrels, different aged barrels to get a flavor profile.
And that's why like it's store bought. So like Costco and Sam's will go to these distilleries and literally just buy one barrel. And that makes how many bottles of bourbon does it make? One barrel?
Between like 40 something and 70 something, like depending on operation and shit like that.
Yeah.
Or 50 something and 70 something like that.
But Matt, so speaking about Eagle Rare, because I'm a big fan of Eagle Rare as well, I sat down on Father's Day because I was like, you know what? I was like, still a little bit of celebration. You know, let me have I pulled out my E.H. Taylor. I love my E.H. Taylor. That's one of my favorite. That's
pure red fruit strawberry. Matt, you got to try the E.H. Taylor. Next time you're over, you will get a pour of that. That is bright, fruity deliciousness.
And we got that for MSRP when we went to Kentucky, which was
$43.
45, yeah, 45.
Yeah. Where I think my first bottle of E.H. Taylor I bought was like 90.
Yeah. So I did that. Then I opened my bottle of Stag Junior, right? And I told TJ this. So TJ explained this to me was that with Stag Junior, sometimes you'll get a really good bottle, sometimes you won't get as good of a bottle. My first bottle, first bottle I had a Stag Junior. I would literally sip it and be like I did not like it. I went through it because it's a strong barrel, right? It's a strong proofy bourbon, but it's supposed to be, it's expensive. Got it. This bottle I have, amazing. I'm like, this is really good. Then I went to the Eagle Rare at the end of the night just to finish it off with Eagle Rare. I'm still like, man, Eagle Rare still is. I would take Eagle Rare over the Stag Junior. I'm sorry.
See, I'm telling you right now, Stag Junior batch 18
beats both of them, but
yes.
I would give it.
No, E.H. Taylor does not beat Stag. This bottle of Stag Junior that I have, batch 18. It's when I believe this is the first batch that they dropped the Junior and Stag Junior. Dude, batch 18 is special. It reminds me that I got this the same year we went to American Whiskey in the city before a Ranger game, and we were drinking $50 pours of George T. Stagg, which is, if you've never heard of George T. Stagg, MSRP is like $2 and change on that bottle. You're not finding that bottle for under $800 on the secondary. It's just not happening. And a $50 pour of George T. Stagg is a good fucking value, right? This is up there with George T. Stagg. And you're talking about a $60 bottle versus a $200 / upsell $800 bottle. This to me was comparable. Batch 18. The batch that my brother bought us a bottle of that I haven't opened, he opened his. I believe it was 24C. It's very oaky. Nothing like this. This is very sweet, very like cordial cherry. So that's the difference. Like, I mean, you go from sweet cordial cherry to oaky and very like that wood tannin flavor in the batch that my brother has. So they're very batch to batch stags are.
Yeah. And I don't know why. I don't know. The first one I had, it must have been, I think it was really oaky, and I just did not really care for it.
Yeah. And that could change, dude. There's bottles that I've tried earlier in my bourbon journey that I did not fucking like, and then I took a sip of now, and I'm like, ooh, that's like, I pick up something different. You know, it's all about what it triggers in your brain versus I used to, and it's crazy. I fucking loved when I first started drinking bourbon, this Wild Turkey rare breed. And now I don't, not that it's bad. It doesn't hit that spot that it used to. And I feel the same way for Woodford Double Oak. I still like Woodford Double Oak, but like I'm past that like little, I need to give it a break for a little while because it became too regular of a pour.
So I bought Woodford Reserve bitters, chocolate bitters.
Nice.
And I made a chocolate old fashioned with the double
oak.
Yeah. So really.
Well, you got the double oak, which is extra vanilla,
and
extra sweetness to it. Yep. And then the chocolate bitters. How do you tremendous?
It's so good. You throw a little cherry on top.
How do you know what oak tastes like? Like, for you guys to drink it and be like, this tastes a little oaky.
Smell and taste are very much together. So you know how you can smell something and it might, like, have you ever been to Disney World?
No.
Okay. Have you ever been to
Sorry.
Have you ever been to Six Flags?
Bad example.
I have, yeah.
Okay, you ever walk past like a fucking churro stand in Six Flags, and the
Oh,
second
yeah,
you
yeah,
smell
yeah,
it,
yeah.
you fucking taste the churro.
Got
You're
it.
like, oh
Okay.
my god, it triggers like you smell a fucking pretzel cooking on the corner right in Manhattan
yeah.
as you're walking to work,
Okay.
and you're like, oh fuck, I can taste that pretzel right now. Like
Yeah.
smell and taste combined. So if you've ever walked into like very woody, like like a room that has like shiplap, but it's not fake, it's real, and you get that wood smell when you walk in, or a
Okay.
humidor has that cedar smell, and that like you can kind of the smell kind of you can imagine the flavor. That's
like,
where it is.
okay.
It's not like it doesn't like you're not licking a fucking piece of wood, but it's like that's what it's triggering your brain. You know what I mean?
This
Well,
is the
it's funny 'cause
fucking
we
lumber
went-
section at Home Depot. Like,
Yeah, you're not going around like ooh
Like, oh,
pine.
this tastes like Eagle Rare. Let me get this plywood.
This 2x4 tastes just like Stag Junior. I'll take 4 of them.
We went. Well, TJ came over. We did a whiskey night. No one was there because me, TJ, and my neighbor Scott, and we were hanging out. And I gave TJ a taste of my whiskey that I bought from Whiskey Thief from Kentucky,
So good.
and he never had it. It was a bottle on bottle. It was good, and he's like, "I don't want to ruin this for you." He's like, "It's not that it's terrible." He's like, "It's very good bourbon, but." He's like, I'm gonna give you a flavor right now, and he's like, and you're gonna taste it when you try this again. So I was like, all right, I'm like, tell me what it is, and I'm gonna give it a taste. He's like, Big Red, like the cinnamon Big Red. And I went to go taste it, and I'm like, wow. I'm like, you're not lying. Like it really. Not only that, you put it in my head, like it really does finish. And we gave it to
Fucking
Scott.
Fireball?
He got to chew. He was drinking. He was like, yeah, that does taste like Big Red. And like it's just one of those things where it just triggers in your brain.
But that's what I mean. Like, if you're just talking about it, just doing what we're doing right now, other than dragging on a sports podcast about alcohol for 40 minutes, which is great. Fucking, it is what it is, right? But it's discussing it. Somebody else will pick something out that'll trigger something in your brain, and you'll go, oh, fuck. But sometimes it's a bad way. Like, I like to watch YouTube reviews of whiskey, especially if it's a high-end bottle that I want to buy. And I happened to buy a very cheap bottle, Old Tub. It was like 20 fucking bucks, bottom shelf shit. But people are like, for 20 bucks, it's pretty decent. I watched somebody that you when you watch these YouTube videos do reviews, you can align your palate with them. And you realize as you taste these bottles, it's like, okay, he's getting the similar flavors that I'm getting. Our palates are very similar. So if he likes something that I like, anything he recommends or she recommends, I may gravitate towards because our palates seem to be aligned. Okay. And the person that I'm very aligned with, that reviews that I watch, said Old Tub tastes like pencil shavings. And the second I heard that and tasted it, I went, motherfucker. Like, it literally smells like when you're in 3rd grade and you broke your pencil and you went over to the fucking thing on the windowsill. And,
no, we all just did the same fucking thing.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude. Great. I mean, that's our rotary phone, right?
Yeah,
like
that's really
one.
When we were younger. Like,
yeah, dude.
Yeah. Did you see the teacher's titties? They're just like fucking going like
right. That's the water cooler shit. No, 100%. But like, dude, I cannot drink that Old Tub. That bottle sits there. It has this much taken out of it. Legitimately. Like, that will stay. If all hell broke loose and World War fucking 3 broke out and everything was apocalyptic and I had no other whiskey but that, I'd use it to clean fucking my tools. I wouldn't drink it.
Speaking of apocalypse, this is actually really funny, but this probably spoils the show. But has anyone watched the TV show Paradise?
Oh, yes.
No.
Oh, dude.
I won't get into it, but it's a really good show. The president of the show is from Kentucky. And this is why I got annoyed, because we know what happens in the past when someone drinks a certain bottle of bourbon, the price goes up.
Right.
So John Wick movies, he drinks Blanton's, price goes up. In this movie, in this TV show, what does he drink? He drinks Blanton's. So I'm like, this is going to skyrocket again. Well,
not to mention that fucking Buffalo Trace got flooded out a month and a half, 2 months ago.
That too. So he's the president. He's from Kentucky. It's James Marsden, and all he does is he drinks Blanton's, and he just like stashes Blanton's away. At one point, they're drinking a bottle of Blanton's. He's like, it was a Blanton's. I think it was Blanton's like gold. It was like one of those special Blanton's, and the bartender was like, this went for $1,000 free one of those. He goes, he's like, this went for $1,000, before all this happened. And I'm like, damn, that's true.
I got very lucky on that Blanton's Gold.
Yeah, it's funny though. So I'm like, great. I'm like, please. They don't say Blanton's, but it's clearly a Blanton's bottle.
Yeah. There's only one grenade shaped whiskey bottle like that.
And I'm like, damn it. I'm watching with Brandon. She has no idea what I'm talking about, but I'm like, that's Blanton right there. He's drinking Blanton's. I love that he's drinking Blanton's. Like it's so awesome. And then just
Sienna walks by. She's like, that was $73.49 in Cost and Sam's Club. Shoots out some price.
Please. If it was $73.49 at Sam's Club, it'd be like, that's a deal.
Listen, my wife did that to me today. So we're going to Disney in August, and I was planning on driving because I don't like flying, but the prices were fucking retarded. They were like $1,400 for me, my wife, and son to fly like 2.5 hours. I'm like, yeah, no, I'll just drive the 16 hours. It's I have a week off beforehand. I have 2 weeks off in a row. So I was like, we'll just stop along the way. Maybe we'll stop at Virginia, go to Virginia Beach, do Myrtle Beach on the way down, whatever. We'll figure it out.
Right. Yeah.
Today, prices dropped by a lot. We got 3 round trip tickets on JetBlue, to Newark, to Orlando and back. Great times. And it was under $1,000. And my wife's like, yeah, no, this is a good price. We should book it. I'm like, but I hate flying. We'll just, we'll make it a long car ride. We'll make an extra vacation out of it. And my wife's like, how much did you pay for Scotland? And I was like, fuck, you win.
That's really funny.
I was like, I can't defend this. I was like, all right, I'll book the flights right now. Hey, buddy. My son came out to watch me sit here and sweat.
Yeah,
I think I lost 6 pounds.
Yeah, just tonight. So we're going, obviously went long. So we were just real quick, NBA Finals. Game 6 is going on right now. None of us are watching it. None of us are watching it. The Pacers actually just took a big lead.
And on of all days.
Yeah, and the NBA. Wow, Matt. Drink some more, you go there.
And he fired his shot. It hit the fucking bullseye. Don't be mad at him.
And the Pacers just took a big lead. So not a big lead, but in the NBA, it's not a big lead because anything can happen. But a 9-point lead second quarter here. So we got a lot going on. Everyone enjoy their basketball.
Before we go, I believe I will be joining our dude, the Duke himself, Andrew LeDuc, on his podcast, filling in for Bud. Bud's moving, so I believe he's going to need a co-host for a couple of weeks. And I told him I would absolutely be down to hang out with him and talk golf. And just to touch on it, I cannot wait to destroy people like Wyndham fucking Clark and Rory McIlroy and enjoy tearing it apart because the PGA is this storied fucking thing that, no, don't go to live. We have all the history and we have the gentleman's game and it has this prestige. And then motherfuckers are throwing a titty tantrum and fucking the locker room and breaking shit at Oakmont. It's like, no, that's not acceptable. Like, there's no suspension, nothing. No public apology. Nobody gives a fuck. Guess what? Do that at any fucking course. Do that at a fucking Muni course. They're going to fuck you up. They're going to beat the shit out of you. They're going to throw you out of there. They're going to fucking permanent ban you and make sure that you don't get a tee time in the fucking county that's it. But again, the PGA Tour, it's like, oh, no, yeah, no, Rory's a good guy.
Yeah, Wyndham Clark destroyed 3 lockers.
Yeah, dude, listen, don't get me wrong. I understand the heat of competition and all that stuff, but, apologize for it. Say it's unacceptable. Don't sit there and make excuses like Graham McDowell on Twitter saying, I've seen worse. Who gives a fuck? And I tweeted at him. I said, no problem, Graham. I said, tell me where you live. I'm going to chuck a rock through your front window and say, hey, I've seen people burn houses down for no reason, so fuck off. Could have been worse. Right? That's literally what you're saying. So, Divots and Pivots podcast, I can't wait to go on a rant and have Andrew absolutely regret having me on.
Speaking of things not getting worse, he did Monday night when Goldberg made his return to WWE. I hope this is his retirement match. I'll get into it more later if I do a Rasslin Addicts episode about it. But I'm gonna need more. I'll need more of the Eagle Rare to get through a Goldberg show. But it's
the only way Goldberg coming back pays off is if we get a Gilbert appearance. But I'm 95% sure if that guy took one more bump, he dies if he's not dead already. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah, I mean the Goldberg thing coming back. I know we're supposed to wrap up here, but the Goldberg thing coming back is just so strange. They took the title from Jey Uso to put to
Jey
Gunther, and then just to have him face off with Goldberg in a main event. Like it's
The
just
Uso thing sucked, though. Let's call it what it is. The
No,
Uso
no,
brothers
no,
are
no,
not
no.
good.
It's okay. So the
They're
Goldberg
not
thing,
entertaining on the level that you would expect a title holder to have.
yeah. I
Jey
agree with-
Uso is the most over guy in the company. They didn't put him in a good story for the title. That's on them. But everyone loves him.
yeah, everyone does love
You
him.
know,
I
the
get it, but
entrance, he's over with the fans, merchandise, everything.
Yeah,
It's what they're doing with his run that was absolutely pathetic. It was terrible. Goldberg coming back should have happened like a year and a half ago. But he got hurt, other bullshit. So
And everybody
doing
hates
his
Goldberg.
retirement
Nobody
match.
likes to work with that. Like, how many fucking podcasts can we listen to now that have everybody universally is like, yeah, Goldberg sucks. He sucks to
he's
work
terrible,
with.
bro.
He's a jerk off. He tries to fucking hurt you. Everybody hates this motherfucker.
he's unsafe.
Yeah.
Oldberg. Get his ass out of here.
And on that note, we'll see you guys next week. Same bat channel, same bat time. Peace.
Peace out.